some of the other parts that were really interesting, that were fun but challenging too. You all know that Apollo 13 got back because of the so-called lifeboat maneuver, where the lunar module was used as a propulsion system to get them home. Few people know that on Apollo 9, we tested that concept. So Jim and Rusty got in the lunar module and pretended like the command module was inert or dead, and they ran that particular maneuver with the LEM engines, and it worked. So part of the test pilot's job is to try things that may be used or may not be used. So all these things we got to do were things that were used or not used, but actually a lot of fun to do, but challenging. You know, and I'll mention one thing on Rusty's music.
Why? Sounds like the music was the challenge.
No, actually, it really wasn't so bad. I gotta apologize for it. It wasn't so bad.
I've never heard this before. Okay.
When you got to the 9th day out of 10 days, and you're getting ready for a meal, Rusty's music wasn't as bad as Tang.
How important were simulations and practice? A lot of practice before you actually go on the flight. A lot of simulator activities. So tell us more about that. How many hours? What was it like? The simulation.
Well, the simulations are really the key to preparing for the moon and training for the crew in particular, but also for mission control. Towards the end of the training period, we have what we call integrated sims with mission control. That is, communications link would be set up among MCC, the command module, and the lunar module, and then we would want a certain part of the mission, but there was a crew called SimSoup behind some glass who wrote a script on putting failures in. And the idea was to see if the crew and MCC could handle failures. And it was an insidious thing because we didn't know what the script would be. And at the same time, many of the managers in the nice offices with their closed-circuit TV knew what the script was. So as we go through a SimSoup would throw in a big problem, and then everybody is watching us to see how we perform. And talk about a final exam. Well, you got all the bosses and MC and everybody watching you perform. So it was a great method of teaching the crew how to operate in space, as well as to coordinate with MCC, which was essential to solve several potential problems. Now, on Apollo 9, things again were new. We had 2 simulators, separate simulators, and one of the big problems prior to the mission was that we could not get all 3 simulators, MCC, Jerry Griffin and Gene Kranz, and Spider and Gumdrop to play together. They wouldn't work together. And about 2 months before the flight, I recall this, the bosses came down from Washington, Baco Patron and all of the heads, to find out if we couldn't get the simulators running, because they knew if we couldn't get them running and go through some of these integrated sims, we couldn't launch. And they put it on Jim. They said, okay, Jim, if you're not convinced that the sims work properly next week or next month, I forget when it was, okay, you're not launching. Guess what? He got the whip out, he got the poor simulator guys, and he whipped them at night and finally got them to go. But it finally played. The simulators were really key to the whole operation, and it helped us learn how to work together, and it also helped create the names. Before Apollo 9, NASA said, no names for spacecraft. You can't name spacecraft anymore. Gus tried to on Gemini, and they wouldn't let him. So, okay, we got into the simulations, and we thought, well, you can't say, hey, Apollo 9, this is Apollo 9. I mean, I couldn't talk to Jim and Rusty for the command module, and everybody uses Apollo 9, so we picked some call signs. And obviously the call sign for the lunar module was Spider. It looked like a spider. So we picked the call sign for the command module, Gumdrop. And the reason is, when the shape of the spacecraft leaves Downey on the truck, it's wrapped in blue cellophane, and it looks like a blue gumdrop. So the spider looked like spider, and the gumdrop looked like gumdrop, and we used them as call signs. Subsequently, every mission got the name of the spacecraft, so it's another benefit of simulations.
What I liked about it was everybody named Gemini 4 the American Eagle, and we were told, no, it's going to be called Gemini 4. So I had the opportunity of being the first guy to not be able to name a spacecraft. Opportunity to name one.
I remember us naming those spacecraft at the bar in Downey one night when we designed the path.
Now remember, everything that happens here stays here.
Now, Facebook's been broken all day.
And I became Red Rover because I was a separate spacecraft. And so we had actually 3 spacecrafts when I did the EVA. And it was Red Rover, come over.
And you came up with that at the bar.
The finest work has been done, NASA.
We came up with a lot of bar.
Okay, we talked a little bit about the EVA a few minutes ago. Talk about the tether. Talk about that 77 heart rate. Okay, while you're outside that capsule. I'm not sure I totally understand that part.
It was an instrument failure.
Well, that really gets personal.
With the backpack on my back, I'm simulating, I'm using all the equipment that these guys, Dave and others, will use later on the moon to run around. An umbilical provides all of your life support, your communication, cooling, and everything else. An umbilical provides everything. But I had everything in my back. So NASA headquarters wouldn't let us go just wearing a backpack, even though that would have been fine. They had to have the mental security of having a tether so that I wouldn't somehow mindlessly let go and drift away. So a tether is just a rope. And the interesting problem with a rope is that it tends to drift around and flop around and hook over things and that kind of thing, and weights that's just drifting all over the place. So actually, the tether adds to the danger instead of adding to the safety of flying out there. It's really interesting. But there was no way in the world we could convince NASA headquarters to go without a tether. So a lot of the work Jim had to do while I was EVA was to keep tension on the tether so that it wasn't just flopping around out there.
My life depended on not getting that tether hooked up with the radar. I kept thinking, Rusty, stay away from that damn radar.
Everybody thought I was just going to flop around and break things and poke holes in my suit. But that wasn't in the game plan.
Hey, outside the command service module, what was it like? When you went experience, we saw some of the equipment there. What was it like?
Well, it's pretty spectacular. I mean, you get outside, it's sort of like you could, stretch a little bit and then cram the whole thing in there. The view is spectacular. And Rusty and I had about 45 minutes back and forth. And I'm watching him, and the whole idea is basically he's supposed to come across and come and get in the command module. We didn't do that, but still, we had an opportunity to look. And I had an opportunity to put together a one-man EVA, so I could put a suit on without Jim or Rusty. And some of the guys, the engineering guys, came up with these ideas. And there's always some bright guy somewhere. So training and all this sort of thing. And the suit zips in the back. So how am I going to, these two guys are going to have, how am I going to put a suit on and zip it up from the back? Some guy came up with the idea, he put a lanyard on it, on a piece of Velcro, and zip it up. So okay, that worked pretty good. Then we had this other problem. I'm supposed to align the platform so that the sun angles are right during the EVA, but we were behind the timeline, and I didn't have time to align the platform. So we talked down to MCC again and said, gee, we're not going to be pointed in the right direction for heating and cooling and taking the pictures. Some guy buried back in the back room somewhere, Jerry or Gene would know where, said, no, that's really easy. Take the sun sunspot that comes through the window and orient the spacecraft so the sun is shining on the lower left box in an LEV. So I moved the whole stack around that way until I got the sun spotted on a box in an LEV, which is not a very sophisticated way to align an inertial platform. But it worked. And those photos, the sun is in the right place. So there's always somebody somewhere who'll solve your problem.
Seeing all this, you're the commander, how are they doing with all of these maneuvers? What's the assessment?
The main thing was Rusty, don't hurt the radar.
Get this image you just...
Yes, sir.
Jim, how important was all this whole maneuver? This was crucial, again, because to the moon landings and so forth, so...
You're missing the point completely. The point is, Rusty and I wanted to get back the command module so we didn't burn up on the way in.
Well, that's implied.
Oh, okay, well. You know, let me
So
say
the
something.
NASA doesn't get them, by the way.
Let me say something about that lunar module. You know, it always looks like it's such a nice solid thing. And it really wasn't. The exterior is made out of mylar, which is like cellophane. It's held together by staples and Scotch tape. And the lunar module that Rusty and I were going to fly, LAM-2, is in the Smithsonian in Washington. If you don't believe me, go touch those things. It's so fragile you can't believe it. And when we went to the first storage mock-up, we got in NASA had a preliminary design review, critical design review, but we also had a storage review to make sure that everything fit. So we went up the best page and we get into the spacecraft. We got a couple hundred guys that are taking notes. The first thing happens, Rusty knocks something off. Then Jim knocks something off. And something. So I never got too excited on these things, but I was really getting a little irritated because we had all this debris laying there. And I finally said to the flight director, or the test director, there's a lot of people here for the storage review, and I think you could have gotten a hell of a lot better mock-up than this crap we're in. There's a long silence on the radio. And then he says, this isn't a mock-up, this is a flight drawing. Then there was a longer silence while I said, oh. Anyway, it was fun.
So Dave, you want to interpret that? What was your view of all of that? That must be a big divot analysis. Tell us more. The docking, the lunar module light, and then talk about the use of the telescope as well.
Well, again, it's the complexity of the Apollo system. And I think, again, the beauty of Apollo 9 was we got to try all this stuff. And it's like, kids in a toy shop. We did all the simulations. You get up there and you get to do the real thing. And it's like flying a real airplane, which is another sort of point of our training. It wasn't just in simulators. We've both flown a lot in airplanes. And you learn a lot by flying airplanes, especially in those days, because airplanes, many of them didn't work well. And that taught you how to take care of a problem. In fact, I'd like to bring up one little point here. Jim has a bunch of pals here tonight, a bunch of pilots, a bunch of really great pilots, as Jim was, okay, in the Korean and Vietnam War. And they wrote a really neat book. They get together once a week on Fridays. They call themselves the Friday Pilots. And they wrote a book called The Friday Pilots, and Jim's chapter is in there too. But it's a great bunch of guys, and a lot of them are here tonight. And they got us there, and they fought our war for us.